Charles, there's a lot of people in this room right now. We're having our All-Star Day here today. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I got no complaints. Man, they just traded Sauce Gardner to the Colts.
Yeah. Yep.
2 firsts.
2 firsts, Charles.
Wow. You know what? That's the thing I love about Howie Roseman, man. When you got a chance to win, you got to go for it. I mean, even though because are they're the defending champs, like, hey, we need to get better. So I love general managers who ain't, man, you got to go for it. Because very few times, let's be honest, very few times, no matter how good you think your team is, honestly, if you're going to be honest, there's very few times you actually have a championship contending team. So when you have a chance, you got to go for it.
What would you guys have needed to have done in Phoenix, Charles, to get over that hump versus MJ? Could the general manager have given you more?
No, we had 3 great years where we had a chance to win a championship. Obviously, Michaels beat us in game 1 in that series. But the next 2 years, we were either the first or the second best team in the West, and we lost 2 brutal 7-game series to the Rockets when they won back-to-back championships.
Yeah, Michael was out.
Yeah, Michael was out. The only thing I'd done is Sixers hadn't screwed up and not taken Brad Daugherty. My whole life would be totally different if the Sixers had took Brad Daugherty with the #1 draft pick instead of trading it away for guys who never even played with me, which sucked and screwed up my whole Philadelphia career.
Roy Hinson, right? I remember a couple they traded Moses at the same time too. So not only did they not keep Brad Daugherty, the #1 pick, they traded Moses for Roy Hinson. He came in and played with you, Charles.
Yeah, and then but remember the worst thing about that was this is no shade. He just never got healthy. Jeff Ruland,
yeah.
I never got to play with Ruland, and we went on a downward spiral right after that because we had no talent. Because very seldom when you have a good team, you get the #1 pick in the draft, and we screwed that up, and it was really unfortunate because, man, I really wanted to have more success in Philly.
Yeah, Charles, but they got you Shaq the 1 year, right?
Yeah, listen, it's too soon for that joke right now because I'm still mad. I'm still mad 40 years later.
Charles Shackelford is who I'm talking about for the audience.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh my
Wrong
God.
Shaq.
The original Shaq. There was no frozen envelope involved with the Sixers winning, though, right?
No. You know what's really funny about that? I remember getting a cat from the late, great Harold Cat. Rest in peace. He died, obviously, in the last year. I remember when we were talking about, he says, hey, I'm making a big trade. I was, who we getting? He said, we getting Charles Shackford. I said, he didn't even play in the NBA. He says, he led the Italian league in rebounding. I said, Italians, they're great cooks and everything. But we need basketball players over here.
Well, it's a good.
I said, I love Italian food. That's probably my favorite. We don't need Italian food, brother. We need basketball players. And if he can lead the Italian league in scoring, that means he wasn't good enough to play in the NBA.
Yeah. You guys had some good teams. The 90, was it 90-91 or 89-90? The bump and thump team. Rick Mahorn.
Hersey
Hawkins.
Mike Juminski.
Yeah, the G-Man jumper was there. Yep.
Yeah, when they went out and got Mike Juminski and Rick Mahorn, we had some success. We just wasn't good as the Bulls or the Pistons. And remember, because the Bulls couldn't get past the Pistons. But, yeah, we tried to regroup. But, like I say, none of those guys would have been as good as Brad Daugherty. Because Brad Daugherty had a hell of a career. If you put me – because I was just becoming a star. I think I was like my 3rd year in the league. I think that was 86, if I'm correct. So, yeah, I hadn't even made an all-star team yet. That was my 2nd year when I was becoming a star. And then I'm like, man, I got Brad Daugherty for the next 10, 12 years. We're going to be pretty damn good. And I remember we went out and celebrated, the guys, because we went out and celebrated. We got drunk as hell. I get back home about 3 in the morning, and my phone rings. It's the late, great Phil Jasner. And I said, Phil, what the hell are you doing calling me at 5 or 6 in the morning? He says, well, the Sixers just made a trade. They traded the #1 pick in the draft. I said, Sixers not even that stupid. He says, yes, they are. And he says, and it gets worse. I said, Phil, let me take a shower and sober up a little bit. And I called him back about 20 minutes later. He says, you guys traded the number 1 pick in the draft. I said, for who? He said, for Roy Hinson. I said, you're kidding me, right? And then he says, it gets worse. I said, it can't get no damn worse than that. He says, you traded Moses, who at that time, Moses is my dad. He's the most important person in my basketball career. We traded him to Washington for Cliff Robinson and Jeff Rudin, who I never got a chance to play with Jeff. And Jeff had been out for 2 years already.
Knees were shot.
And and that's when everything went downhill with the Sixers with me, man. It was brutal.
Hey, Charles, we were just talking about you earlier in the show. We used to see you. We're here in City Line Avenue. You've been to the studios many times. But we used to see you. Chops Steakhouse is a place we would see you frequently when you were here during the summer. And now you're opening up your own steakhouse. Tell us about it. Valley Forge Casino Resort announcing that you are partnering with them for a unique steakhouse and cigar lounge experience. Tell us about it.
Yeah, first, I miss Chops, man. That place was great. I mean, remember, you could actually smoke in there. That's how cool it was. And because 2 of my favorite things are, number 1, steaks and smoking cigars. So, Boyd Gaming, who that owned Valley Forge Casino, came to me a while back. And I was like, I'm not interested right now because I've never done a restaurant. I've had probably we talked about since 1984. Probably 30 times people have came to me about opening a restaurant. I'm like, yeah, that's just not my thing, blah, 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 blah. And to be honest with you, I hadn't even thought about opening up a restaurant. And, my boy Ron and Mike out there at Valley Forge, because I go out there a lot because they got a sports book there and I like to gamble. And we always end up having dinner and smoking cigars. And they're like, we're looking it up to open up a new restaurant. I'm like, okay. And he said, what do you think about opening up a steakhouse and a cigar lounge? I'm like, I hadn't thought about it. I'm not opposed to it. Let's talk about it. And obviously we've been talking for probably like a year and a half. And I said, hey, you know what? I live in Philadelphia, obviously during the summer. I love coming back to Philly all summer. I play golf pretty much every single day and end up smoking somewhere. And he said, we're looking to open up a steak place, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited about Boyd Gaming.
What's going to make it unique, though, Chuck? Like, what about it is going to make it uniquely Charles Barkley? Because a lot of these places, like a Shula's, it's just like memorabilia on the wall. You got to make it something more flair.
Charles will be in there every night.
Yeah.
yeah.
He'll be in there smoking.
Charles will be smoking and eating.
I'll be in there eating and drinking up all the profits. That's the only thing we got to worry about.
Yeah, that's a fact.
When do we open?
Well, I don't even know they know the date of that yet. We probably 6-7 months away.
Okay.
Because I think they just broke ground. But what I would like to do, and you hating on the memorabilia, the one cool thing about, like I said, growing up, when I got here in 1984, 85, you talk about Mike Schmidt, Greg Levinsky, Larry Boa, Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Seth Jonah, Randall Cunningham, Ron Jaworski. I got a condo here in Philly where I live. And I only got 2 jerseys in my house. Ron Hextall and Brian Dawkins. Those are my 2 favorite Philadelphia athletes of all time.
I remember we presented you with that Hextall jersey signed by Hexy.
Hey, man, listen, in my condo here in Philly, I ain't got but 2 jerseys on the wall, and that's Ron and Brian. And but I would like to celebrate Philadelphia history. You got Jimmy Rollins.
Awesome.
You got Ryan Howard. I want to get something from everybody, man, because I've had such an amazing life here in Philadelphia. I mean, even now, you got Jalen who's rolling right now. You got Saquon who's rolling. I mean, the Flyers, my boy Tockett is back in town. I would like to make it a Philadelphia steakhouse.
Love it.
But the number one thing, to answer your question, I'm gonna be on their ass out there about the food. Because I don't want people coming to a crappy steakhouse. The food has to be the most important thing, first and foremost. And I love to smoke cigars, man. I do. I love to smoke cigars. So if they can get the menu right, which is I'm gonna be on them the whole time, but I want to make sure we have a great selection of cigars because, man, I love just chilling, smoking cigars. It's one of my great joys.
Especially after a nice steak dinner. You know, this isn't going to be a sizzler.
100%.
No, not a sizzler.
It won't be a sizzler. I can promise you that.
No salad bar?
You know,
Jeez.
You know, it's so funny. I was just getting ready to say, you know, a place is not great when the first thing you think about is a salad bar.
or the tray you're carrying up to the table.
Yeah, because Sizzler, I will admit, Sizzler has arguably the best salad bar I've ever been to.
Yeah.
But I think, and also, no disrespect to Sizzler, if they're still around. I haven't seen one. We're probably going to be selling a better piece of meat than Sizzler, okay?
That's roadkill.
A little bit better. We're talking to Charles Barkley in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, opening up a steakhouse and cigar lounge.
Great.
Not far for us.
It's not far.
And by the way, Ricky Batalico, he's what? Because he lives right up the street. He's asking for an invite
and a line of credit.
Yeah, he wants free food.
Free food and
Charles,
drinks.
he's not asking. He's begging.
Yes.
So just say yes on the air, and you don't have to grant it.
No, that's my guy. He can get he can get a free meal. He can get a free meal. Because, you know, I got to kind of kiss up to, like, Ricky, Howard Eskin, Mike Miss. I'm trying to think all the butt I got to kiss. Fran Dunphy, Jay Wright.
Phil Martelli.
Phil Martelli. But, you know, I got to make sure Jay and Fran, because I play golf with those guys all summer. Everybody's gonna get one free meal.
That's good.
Then they're gonna have to reach in their wallet.
Yep. Jimmy Lynam, you're gonna have to take care of Jimmy, right?
Oh man, Jimmy. Oh, listen. First of all, you cannot say Jimmy Lynam without saying Herb. Okay, I've never seen Jimmy Lynam without Herb McGee. Like those two, they're like the Bobbsey twins. I've been in Philadelphia since 1984. I've never not seen Jim Lynam and Herb McGee not together, ever, in my entire existence.
Wow. Will you have anything in the restaurant, Charles, from the guys you played against? I've gone down this Larry Bird rabbit hole about the trash that he would talk on YouTube, and it's insane. I've seen some of your stories on there with Larry, and, of course, the fight he got in with Doc where he told him to retire when he went down the floor. Get this old man off me.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. Larry Bird's one of my favorite people. And that, first of all, I'm still mad that the NBA fined me. They owe me $5,000. They haven't paid me back yet. I would never hold somebody and let somebody hit him. So I just grabbed Larry. I didn't know Doc was punching him until later. And the NBA picked. I said, you guys really think I would hold somebody and let somebody hit somebody? I would never do that. That's just a punk move to fight more. When you see these fights, it's like more than one person fighting one person, you know that person is a punk. You know right away that person is a punk.
Yep.
But let me tell you something about that game. That game, it was Doc was on his last legs, obviously, and Bird is screaming, Chuck, y'all better get this old man off me before I kill him. And he's like, this is like in the second quarter. And obviously Doc was at the end and Bird was in his prime. He's screaming, hey, man, I'm going to kill this old man if y'all don't get him off of me. And we're like, Billy, maybe we should put somebody else. And Doc's like, no, I got it. Okay, his pride kicked in. Now we're in the third quarter. Bird got like 40, I think, at the time. He's still screaming, I'm going to kill this old man if y'all don't get him off me. And then Doc just snapped. And, man, it was surreal because Doc is such a cool, classy dude. You're sitting there like, did Doc just start? What the hell just happened?
He started choking him.
And he started choking him. And it takes you a few minutes. Then you just grab somebody and break the fight up. Well, I think, because let me tell you something. If I had grabbed Doc and Larry had punched him, I would have been traded the next day. They would have traded me the next day. So I just grabbed Bird and until I saw it, and I really didn't see any of the punches, to be honest with you. And then when I saw it later, when the NBA called me in, they're like, "We're going to fine you for holding Bird." I'm like, I was just trying to break the fight up.
Yeah, talking to Charles Barkley. Charles, we could talk to you all day about not even anything with the current 76ers, but I got to ask you. So I'm gonna incorporate Tyrese Maxey and Edgecombe and with Embiid. You see what they look like without Embiid on the court. Do you think it can work with the pace that they play? This year, I mean, listen, they look good so far. I don't know if you can expect them to go to the NBA Finals this year, but you think this can work with Embiid with his current health? Can Maxey, Edgecombe, Paul George, and Embiid? I mean, is this a true title contender? Can it be a true title contender?
You know what, man? If I had $1 for every time I've been asked that this summer, I have about $1,700. And you know, my answer is the same. I don't know. Well, they're not going anywhere without Embiid. Let's get that out the way. Embiid and Paul George. Maxey, we all love Maxey. I love that kid. Now, BJ has come out of nowhere and is probably right now front runner for Rookie of the Year. I mean, he's way ahead of schedule. But the Sixers are not going to go anywhere unless Joel and Paul George are healthy. I've said that 100 times. I said, I could actually put 5 or 6 teams in a hat and pull out, okay, let's say this. I could pull out the New York Knicks. I said, the New York Knicks could be the best team in the Eastern Conference. I could pull out the Cleveland Cavaliers and say, these guys could win the Eastern Conference. I could pull out the 76ers. And my first thing is, if Embiid and Paul George are healthy, they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. They are. There's nobody has more. Now, that's a big if now.
Yep.
That's a big if. But if Embiid can play and stay healthy and play at an all-star level, he can't just play. He's got to stay at an all-star level. And if Paul George can play close to an all-star level, there's no team in the Eastern Conference. The 2 teams I just mentioned, the Cavs and the Knicks, are the 2 favorites. But you tell it, there's neither one of those teams. The Sixers probably have a better backcourt than both teams. Than both teams. Because Jalen Brunson is a stud. But the Sixers, those 2 young kids they got probably better. And then you put in Donovan Mitchell and Garland. They're both good players. But Maxey is probably right behind those 2, behind Brunson and Donovan Mitchell, the best guards in the Eastern Conference. But, man, they're not going to go anywhere without Joel Embiid and Paul George.
You were on Manning Cast last night, Charles?
Yeah, I had a great time, man. I love those guys, man. You know, Peyton is a great friend. I don't know Eli that well, but Peyton is a great friend. And I enjoyed doing that. Those guys, man, they're amazing. They've done an amazing job on their careers.
Yep.
I mean, nobody's got better commercials. Nobody's got better commercials than those 2. Even Shaq with all his crappy commercials.
The General,
yeah,
you know the General.
Oh, my God. He had the General come in one night. He's like a 90-year-old little short dude. I was laughing my behind off.
Is there a commercial that Shaq would turn down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
He turned down many.
No.
He did?
Yes.
See?
John Kincade used to do the podcast with him, Charles.
I did the podcast with him for 6 years. Charles, he took the...
Hey, first of all, he loves you.
Well, he's a good man.
Because, you know, we get to fighting all the time because every time he throws your name out, I have to mention some of my Philly guys.
Well, you got it. And look, it's very tight, but he definitely turned some down.
Yeah?
He once offered...
No, hell no.
Yes, he did.
Turned down a bill.
He once offered me... He once had a folded over check, Charles, and he said, "I'll trade you your paycheck for this check," and it was payday, and I said, "No," and I blinked, and I go, "No." And it was a check for like $58,000.
Oh, you idiot.
And it was something he just had folded up in his pocket. It had been there for like a week.
Yeah.
It's great to have that money. That's how you have a good steakhouse. He doesn't have a good steakhouse, get a good chicken's place, but you're going to have the great steakhouse.
Yeah,
Charles.
big chicken.
Yeah, big chicken shack's awesome.
Big chicken. That's the difference between me and Shaq. He does big chicken. I do big steak.
There you go.
And cigar. And you can bet at your place.
Get the good ribeye, Charles.
that's
Make
true.
sure the ribeye's great.
That's true.
And everyone's going to want to be there. It'll be awesome.
Hey, Charles. So you're at ESPN now. Obviously, it feels even if I'm sure it's weird for you. It feels weird watching you on ESPN after so many years, even though it's your crew and it's produced by you guys. But is it weird now working at ESPN after so many years in TNT?
Yes, 100%. But they've been great so far. We owe them a great deal of gratitude because, man, it sucks when people get fired. I mean, it flat out sucks when people get fired. We lost NBA TV, so we lost hundreds of people. And if ESPN didn't pick up our show, we were going to lose the rest of them, another 200. Oof. So I was so excited because I had met with NBC and Amazon trying to figure out what I was going to do next, which probably wasn't going to do nothing, to be honest with you. And I was like, okay, we're done. And then this thing out for ESPN came out of nowhere, and Ernie says, what do you think? I says, if everybody going to keep their job, I'll keep doing it for a couple more years. And he says, let's do it for a couple more years. Because, man, it was so hard to be around TNT the last year because I'm kind of screwed up. And I don't mean screwed up. Like, I'm not around people who have to worry about their job all the time. But being in that environment, and it was 50-50 if we were going to lose the NBA or not. And people who I've been working with for 25 years were crying, talking about mortgage. It was brutal. I'm not even going to lie. They were talking about mortgage. They were talking about taking their kids out of certain schools. Wow. And I'm sitting there like, I'm not even used to that. But because, like I say, I've never been in a situation where all my friends got to worry about losing their job. But to be with these people for 25 years and to see the amount of stress they were under. Because, normally you don't know when you're going to get fired. But they're like, if we lose the NBA, we're going to get fired. So it was really a difficult year at Turner. And I thought Turner did not do a good job of keeping everybody abreast. Let me tell you guys something. During the playoffs, we were playing golf and looking at the internet trying to get updates. And half the internet said we lost the NBA. Half the internet said we kept the NBA. And it was real. And I'm playing with the guys who are going to get fired, too, which is crazy. And TNT never, like, hey, can we get an update? At least let us know what's going on.
Right.
But we were literally looking at the internet trying to figure out if we were going to get fired or not. So it was brutal. And I got on TNT many times publicly saying that's not the way you do business. You treat people better than that. You should not know that you're going to get fired from the internet. If you're going to get fired, hey, we lost the NBA deal. That's the way you do it. We lost the NBA deal. I can live with that. But don't have me. Like, I found out from ESPN I got fired.
Did Stephen A. call you and tell you?
No, Bob Myers, Scott Van Pelt. So the season was over. I was sitting in Philly on a Friday night. This is a true story. Scott Van Pelt, Bob Myers, L. Duncan text me, welcome to the family. I'm like, what family? I'm like, what family are y'all talking about? And then like an hour and a half later, we get a call from TNT like, hey, y'all are going to ESPN. I'm like, thanks for the heads up. I already knew now. And I've been very critical of them for like, because that's not the way you do business, plain and simple.
Yeah. Wow. Charles, we appreciate it. Eagles, you think they're going back to another Super Bowl this year?
Hey, man, Howie Wiseman, Roseman, excuse me. He is unbelievable. to go out and get those 3 players that they got in the last couple of weeks. I remember when we started this conversation, man, if you ain't going to win, go for it. And he realized, like, hey, we're not as good as we were last year. And like I say, the Eagles, with the wide receivers and my cousin Saquon and Jalen back there, you got to go for it, man. It's not often you get a chance to be the repeat champion. And I can't wait for the playoff, man. It's going to be exciting.
It is, and we appreciate your time, Charles. We were talking about this earlier. Jalen Hurts he's a winner, and he's shown that in big spots there's probably nobody else you would want. He's also he's a different quarterback because he doesn't have to throw the ball 40 times a game. He's very comfortable doing it 20, 25 times a game. But then what happens is all the debate shows that I know you love watching, he's a constant topic. He's not good enough. He only wins because he's carried by his team. How do you look and evaluate Jalen Hurts?
Well, the man's been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years, correct?
Yep.
That's correct.
He's been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years. Probably would be a 2-time MVP if it wasn't for Pat Mahomes in that one game. That was a hell of a game. The Eagles, I think I saw some reason they had won like 20 out of 22 games. Man, you can't pay these fools on TV no attention. We've gotten to the point now where people are just trying to get clicks, or they're trying to, they want people to call into their radio shows and TV shows, and if you don't like Jalen Hurts, I mean, this dude's been to 2 Super Bowls, won one, and is he 30 yet?
No, 26, 27.
27, yeah.
Yep. He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, Charles.
Man, let me tell you something. And with Howie pulling strings like he's doing, Jalen's young, Saquon's young, AJ's young, Devontae's young. The defense, they're working on that. This team's going to be at the top of the food chain for at least the next 5 years. At least 5 years. So, no, man, Jalen, man, we lucky to have him here in Philly.
For sure.
Post-parade, Barkley Steakhouse. That's it. That's where we'll be.
Hey, let me tell you something. If Jalen wins another Super Bowl, he ain't never going to pay for a meal at the steakhouse, ever.
Unlike Ricky Pitalico.
Yeah, he gets one.
He gets one. Ricky's getting one free meal. But Saquon and Jalen, if they win another Super Bowl, they ain't never going to pay for a meal at the steakhouse, ever.
And Saquon lives close, though. You be careful with that. He could be.
Hey, you know what's so funny about Saquon? We've never met.
Really?
But, we never met. So I played golf like 75 straight days during the summer. That's what I pretty much do. Every single golf course I went to, Saquon played here recently.
He's trying to join.
Saquon played here. I'm like, I can't believe we ain't bumped each other at the same golf course. But every single golf course I went to, they were like, Saquon was here. And I'm like, damn, I got to do a better job of trying to find this dude because I can't wait to meet him.
That's awesome.
Charles, congrats on the steakhouse again, Valley Forge Casino Resort, and Charles Barkley creating a unique steakhouse and cigar lounge experience. They just broke ground. So a couple months, like 6-7 months, will be the grand opening.
Live broadcast opening day? That's good.
Yeah.
Let's do it, brother. Hey, y'all, let's do the grand opening, please. Let's do that.
All right.
Sounds good.
Deal. Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks,
all right,
Charles.
guys.
Thanks,
Go
Charles.
Birds, too. Go Birds.
There we go.
Hey, Charles.
Thanks for watching Middays with Marks. Like and subscribe right here. If you like and subscribe, you probably are loving what you're watching. There's more of it right here. Check it out.